Hi lovelies, you're welcome back once again on my channel. So in this tutorial we're learning how to make this very beautiful bubu gown with a back elastic. Okay, so this trending bubu kaftan with back elastic is a tutorial for today. Thank you so much to all my wonderful subscribers, to my returning subscribers, to my passers by. You are all highly welcome. Okay, so guys, you can see here on my table I have this beautiful crepe material. So you can use any plain material of your choice. So here I have about 5 years, but I'm not going to be using all the 5 years. Okay, so first of all, you're going to measure out your length, the total length of your kaftan or your gown. So you're going to measure it out. So if you look at this from here, so if I measure the normal measurement, you can see that the total length of this material is not up to 60, whereas my length is 60 inches. Okay, I'm going to be using 60 inches plus, so you can see I have only 64 inches or thereabouts. So what am I going to do? I'll just go ahead and measure it the other way around horizontally, okay, until I am able to get my full length. You can see I have 60 inches here. Then I'll go ahead and add extra. I have about 61 inches for my length. Then I'll go ahead and add extra 2 inches for my allowance. So total, I have a total of 63 inches. So from there, from that point, you're going to fold it so that you'll be able to get your full length. Okay, remember we are cutting both the front and back together. So here you can see I've finally gotten the length of the material I'll be using. You can see the upper part here is on fold, which means I'm cutting both the back and front together. So here, so after that, the next thing you're going to do is to determine our sleeve length. Okay, so you're going to make sure you have up to your sleeve length. So I'm using all the whole of the material on fold. You can see, so here I have my length. I'm using the sleeve length of 10. So after that I was left with 2 inches, so I'll just go ahead and use the whole 2 inches for my folding. Then from there I'll go ahead and mark my shoulder slope of 1 inch. Then from that point I will measure out my sleeve opening. So I used 11 inches. Okay, so from the, so you can see here from the shoulder slope I have 10, but I went ahead to extend it to 11 inches because actually my sleeve round is 7, so I want it to be more free. So everything, the total length here is 12 inches from the folded end. I have 12 inches. Okay, you can use your bust point measurement or you can decide to measure it. So after marking this line, so this is my shoulder slope. So from here I'll just go ahead and mark out my shoulder measurement, shoulder divided by 2, which is 8. So this is my shoulder measurement. From there I will mark my half-inch shoulder slope. So from that half-inch shoulder slope I'm going to connect it to that 1-inch shoulder slope at the sleeve opening at the other end. Okay, so you can see where I've connected it. So this is my shoulder slope here. This is how it is here. So that is it. So the next thing now is for us to get our, we are going to get our neckline. So I'm going to be using the neck width of 3.5. So you can just choose your desired neck width. 3.5 or 4 inches is okay. So from then the neck depth for the back I used 2 inches. So but later on I decided to go up by half. So at the end of the day I use a total of 1.5 inch for the back neck depth. So this is 1.5 for my back neck depth. Then for the front I used 4 inches for my neck depth for the front. So this is my 4 inches here. So I'll go ahead and mark it. Then I'll connect these lines. I'll use my curve rule to get the curve. Okay, so I'm just go ahead and use my curve rule to curve out my neckline. Then after that I'll just go ahead and connect my shoulder slope. So here I'm trying to connect my neckline. So you can use your free hand, you can use your curve rule. So this is my back neckline, then this is the front. So this is my front neckline. So after this, now the next thing, you're going to determine the opening. Remember, we have a slit in front, so from that point I will measure 4 inches or 4.5 inch downwards. So I actually measured 4.5 downwards here from the 4 inches, so I have a total of 8.5 inches for the neck, for the front neckline. So after this, now you can see I'm trying to make sure everything is in order. So from the 4 inches of neck depth for the front, I'll go ahead and mark half an inch. You can see here I'll just mark half an inch, then I'll connect it to that 4.5 inches slit. You can see here, you can see the way I connected it with a very slanted line. So the next thing is to connect my shoulder slope to the neckline, like so. So after that, we'll first of all go ahead and mark out our shoulder to hip. So this is my hip measurement, just for a guideline. So after that, I'll go ahead and mark out my slit opening. Remember, by the side we have opening by the side, so my side opening. So I'll just go ahead and determine that. So this is what I'm trying to do now. Try to get exactly where I'll stop while stitching. So we're going to have both sides opened. So at the end of that, use a total of 18 inches. So remember, we are going to still fold 2 inches. So 18 inches plus folding allowance or hemming allowance. So here, just go ahead and indicate. You can choose wherever you want it to be, above your knee, below your knee, wherever. It totally depends on you. So you can see that is the line I marked there. So after that, the next thing now is for us to impute our body measurement. So from that armhole line, or from that my sleeve line, or your bust point, which is 12, I marked. I'm going to impute my hip measurement divided by 4, quarter of my hip measurement. Then I'm going to mark. Then you go ahead and add your desired allowance, how big or how tight you want it. So you can decide add 2 inches, 3 inches, or even 4 inches. So here I ended up adding 3 inches. So just go ahead and mark my 3 inches. So from there, after marking the 3 inches, whatever you have, you're going to measure it all the way down. You're going to mark it all the way to the hem. Okay, so after marking it, you go ahead and connect the lines together. So like so. So I'll use my rule to do what, to connect all the lines I marked. So this is what I have here. I'm trying to connect all the lines all the way to the hem. So after this, now the next thing is to curve our armhole. We're going to be curving our armhole. Okay, so just go ahead and curve this armhole like so. Just give it a little curve from here. We're going to curve it like that. You can see the way I curve it. This is our armhole curve. This serves as the armhole curve. Okay, so after this curve, now the next thing is to cut it out. So just go ahead and cut it out. So guys, please, at this point, if you have not given this video a thumbs up, please kindly give it a thumbs up. Okay, subscribe, like, and share. Okay guys, so you can see now I'm done cutting out the shape of our gown. So after cutting this shape, then we are going to do what, cut out the neckline. But before then, I'll go ahead and mark where I'm going to insert my elastic. Remember, at the back we have back elastic. So here I'm marking it. So you're going to use your waist and shoulder to waist, back shoulder to waist, not the front. Okay, so you know the front shoulder to waist is different from the back shoulder to waist. So I used my back shoulder to waist. Your front shoulder to waist is minus 2 inches. Subtract 2 inches from your front shoulder to waist or waistline. So after that, you mark it, then cut out the neckline. So I'm cutting out the shoulder slope. So after this thing, after cutting it out, I'm going to separate the back and front together. So I'm just going to separate them. So after separating them, then I'll fold the front back again so that I'll be able to cut out the front neckline. So after this now, just go ahead and do what, and cut out my front neckline like that. So I'm trying to cut out my front neckline. So after cutting it, then the next thing is to slit this front slit. I'm just going to cut it out. So I'm just trying to be careful so that I'll have this very pointed V. I don't want it to be so big, so this is why you see me feel like I'm struggling a little bit. So after that, the next thing is to cut out our facing. We are going to be cutting both the back and front facing. So I'll just introduce my leftover cut out fabric by the side. I'll just use it to cut out my facing. So cut the front facing and your back facing together. You can see the way I'll put it. Then I'll just go ahead and cut out my facing. So after cutting out the facing, I'll just go ahead and I'll be using a so you can see here, this is my elastic. I'll be using this 1 inch of elastic. You can use 1.5. So here I have a 1 inch of elastic. So this is my facing. I'll just go ahead and pin it. So I'll pin it like so. After pinning it, we'll go ahead and cut that fabric we'll use to cover this where we are going to insert our elastic. So we're going to that channel, the elastic channel or casing at the back, we're going to be cutting it out. So this is for the back. So this is the back body. So I'll just go ahead and place the facing. So this is the facing. So this facing, I'll be using my stay to gum it. So I'll be using stay. I'll iron stay on it to make it firm. Okay, you can see both the back and front. I'll use this stay to do what, to iron on it. So what you're going to do now, we're going to measure our back waistline. You're going to measure whatever we'll have there on that fabric. Remember, we added extra inches, so fold it together, then you're going to measure it. So here I measured the whatever you measure, we are going to do what, cut it on the, that will be the length you are going to of the fabric you'll be cutting out. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and do what, and fold that piece of fabric into two. So I have it like this. So I'll just fold it into two. So I'll get the length of what I just measured. Then after getting the length of what I just measured, so initially I added some inches to it. So after I measure, but later on I deducted it as well. So you can see, so here I'm going to measure it. So after measuring it, then you're going to measure the width. I actually use a 1 inch. This is 1 inch. They are going to add allowance, so you can use 2 inches so that by the time you fold, so I actually use 2 inches here. Yes, 2 inches the width. So now you can see how far I've gone. I'm done sewing my neckline. You can see my neckline is very well sewn. So you can see I'm done with it. So this is the stripe we'll cut out. You can see my stripe. Then I've already ironed it. So the next thing now is to bring our safety pin. We're going to insert this into this channel, into our stripe. We're going to be inserting, but before inserting it, how do we cut the amount of elastic we are going to use? We are going to divide our waist circumference by 4. Okay, you divide your waist by 4, you can add extra 3 inches. Okay, so I divided my waist circumference by 4, then I added 3 inches of allowance. So you can see, so by the time we put it here inside the stripe, is going to gather it. So that is it. Your waist circumference divided by 4 plus 3 inches of, or you can add 2 depending on how tight you want the elastic at the back to be. So but I added extra 3 inches, so I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So this is the amount I'll be using. So I'll use my safety pin to insert it into the strap that will cut out. So I'll just go ahead and insert it like so. Can see, so you're just going to insert it. So remember I said after placing my back fabric on fold, I measured and I added some inches, but I realized that it was too much, so I later reduced it. So when you get here, you can see you just pull it a little bit here. So I'm trying to pull it. I don't want it to go further inside. So this is what I have. Then I've pinned it. This is the place. So like I said, well, I realized that it was too much, so that is why I later reduced it. You can see how I pinned it. So I'm trying to reduce it. I found out that it was too much. So just use your whatever you measured exactly. Do not add any allowance, okay? So the allowance I added initially, I later reduced it. So that is it. So you can see I've pinned it as well. So I realized that it was too loose for me to place it like that, so I went ahead to reduce it. So now you can see, so all we have to do is to open it up. I've not closed the side, so you open it up, the back area. Remember, we are working on the back where I notched that I'm going to be placing mine. So just go ahead and place it in between the notch, so the notch will be in the center of your stripe. You'll be align it very well. Make sure your elastic set very well, so there will be no tangling in the elastic. Okay, so remember I added a side pocket to this particular um gown. So what do you do after pinning it like that? The next thing is you add your pocket. Your pocket will come immediately after this elastic by the side. So after attaching it like this, just add your what pocket. Just sew in your pocket, remember. So you can see I've reduced it. Normally our side pocket starts on our waist. It starts from waist, so that is why after adding this on the waist, I immediately added my pocket. I don't know if I'm making sense at all, but so just add your normal side pocket if you want to add side pocket. So guys, you can see this is the final look. So after that, just go ahead and close up your side. Use your sewing allowance to close it. Make sure you sew your side slits. So this is the final look, guys. I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like and share. Thank you so much guys for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.